Good morning, traders. It is Monday, August 18th. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. Lots of good stuff going on. Baseball tournament finished. Ben's team came in third. But anyways, I'll show you a couple clips of some stuff we did at the end here if you want. Anyways, looking at the markets, a little bit mixed this morning. The Russell is up slightly. The NASDAQ is down a little bit. So it's just kind of a flat market at this point. Now, if we look at our 30-minute chart, we can see here we had a really nice bounce and pop up, and now it is flagging sideways. And while the market really went sideways, we had a little bout of panic selling on this session where the market traded sideways. And that is usually a good sign. If the market holds up during panic selling, we should see the second half of that leg push higher. So let's just let's take a look at this chart. Use Fibonacci extension. We can drag this out a bit. Where is that tool? Fibonacci extension. So we got this low, we got this high, and we got this low here. So if we carry that forward, we can figure out where that price should run to. So you can see here the S&P 500 is set up for a nice little push from Monday's close. Could go about 1%, all the way up to about 1.6% with this next little pattern here. I mean, this is a 30-minute chart, so this is more or less intraday momentum / day trading, but that's where the pattern is set up. And the fact that we had panic selling, it means we're probably locked and loaded, ready for a pop and rally to start the week. Now, when we look at the daily chart, obviously we've had a nice run up. We've had a series of rally, pause, rally, pause, rally, pause. We are above this thin blue line, the 5-day moving average, which is a high momentum line. Generally, if you're above that, it wants to stay above that and keep pushing higher. So we'll see if we get some traction today, tomorrow, and see if that wants to push higher. Now, overall, not a whole lot has changed from last week. Stocks trading sideways. We have bonds slightly positive, but in the grand scheme of things, when we zoom out, bonds are not the best looking chart. They are still trying to, whoops, went a little far there. Still trying to carve out a bottom and figure out what they're doing. They keep pushing down into an oversold territory. They're probably about to flip back down to a short-term downtrend. Just not really finding much of a bid. Today we are seeing the dollar trade slightly higher. And if we zoom in here, you can see the dollar. We talked about this impulse move in the dollar a while ago where we had this strong move to the upside. It broke 1 and 2 previous highs. And when you break through 2 ceilings or 2 resistance levels, usually that pause or pullback is going to be the start of a new upward trend. So we go from a series of lower highs and lower lows to potentially a series of higher lows and higher highs. And hopefully we'll start to see this firm up or at least trade sideways and build more of a base through here. And gold could continue to move higher. Even if the dollar trades sideways or slightly higher, gold could continue to push up. Now we are seeing gold and silver up a little bit this morning, up 1/3%. Again, gold, nice pop up and pull back into the mid-range, so it's at support. If we take a look over at silver, silver's holding up as well. It's got this little bull flag pattern trying to figure things out. Obviously, if you look at the 30-minute chart, we go from like a downtrend, overbought, all over the place. Silver is definitely a noisy chart and not the easiest to trade unless you zoom out to the big picture and stick with the underlying trend. The day-to-day back and forth is just insane and difficult to capture. If we go and take a look over at energies real quick, actually let's look at Bitcoin real quick. Down 1.5% this morning. We did have a trade in Bitcoin. We got in, we hit our target right near the high. We have closed that trade out. We did hit another target on Friday with another position that we are in with our band strategy, which is the best asset now, trading the hottest sectors. We ended up hitting that and pulling some money off the table, locking in some gains. If we take a look over at crude oil is continuing to struggle. Really just doesn't look the best. This is a pretty big bear flag pattern here. If you just look at where it wants to go, the next stop, it's hit this level and potentially back down to $56, which is what we've talked about for several months. This whole spike right here, this whole news-driven spike, we really just have to somewhat ignore that. A lot of people thought this was the start of a much higher move. But overall, this pop up here, it was a very strong impulse move. It broke a bunch of previous highs, but again, it was news driven, bombs dropped, all kinds of stuff, and it just created a huge surge in oil, which got wiped out really just a week later, just showing if you trade news, you have to be very nimble in and out. When you have a profit, you take it, or else it will be taken from you in most cases. Let's take a quick look at dividend stocks. This is the SPYD. This is the S&P 500 high dividend stocks. Overall, doesn't look that bullish. It has a series of stair-stepping moves to the downside. I feel like it could roll over at any point. And another member wanted to know about, how do you know if we're in a stage 1 or a stage 3? So let's pull a chart up. So a member wants to know, how do you know when you're in a stage 1, like a sideways, a bottom, a base, or a stage 3? Because it's, the stock indices like the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ are hitting all-time highs. How do you get a stage 3 out of it? So I like to peel things back a little bit more than just the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, which are obviously very tech heavy and hitting all-time highs and do not look like a stage 3. So if we were to look at the RSP plus IWM plus IWC. This is equal weighted S&P 500, so stripping out the heavyweights. It's the small cap 2000 and the micro cap stock. So this is the majority of the stock market. If we zoom way back in time, you could let's just zoom out even more here. You could argue here that this could be a massive topping pattern right through here. Obviously, the overall stock market isn't quite at all-time highs yet. This is a massive double top or triple top potential. If this top plays out, it could be a huge breakdown. Obviously, we had a significant kind of topping phase over here where we saw in 2008. Of course, things get dwarfed when you go into this price action. You have this massive topping phase, eventually breaks down and all of that. So if we were to just zoom back out, this is kind of what the majority of stocks are doing. We are in a major potential topping phase. Now, if it was to break out and we see, money just start to flow everywhere and venture capital open wide open and small cap stocks and micro caps exploding and taking off, we could just kick back into a bull market, another major bull market to the upside. It could happen. A stage 3 could end up just becoming a giant bull flag and really just a huge pause and really kind of be like a stage 1. Once it breaks higher, it could start another massive wave. So that's what we just need to wait and see what is going on with the overall. All right, so we had a great weekend with Ben's baseball championship. He came in 3rd for his team, and then Ben and I ended up going out in his little fishing boat. All right, good eye. But anyways, a great tournament. It was a full weekend of baseball. And we got some time on the water, wrote an article, and got my daughter's friend up surfing for the first time, which she got up on her first try, which is incredible. Didn't last long, but wasn't long before she was actually up riding and really enjoying it. It's a little choppy of a day on the water, but overall, it's pretty fun. And then this is Ben and his little tin boat. We got a 9.9 for it on the weekend, so he can rip around in our bay.
Nice.
And we got a nice bass. This was the first fish we caught in this bay this year.
Oh, he's a beauty. Bring him around this way. Don't let him near the prop. Oh,
this guy's never been...
He's nice. Oh, it's huge. Okay, don't let it come flying to me. The hook. Keep it down. A little closer. Okay.
Let's go.
Holy cow.
Oh my God, it's a massive bass.
Look at the size of that thing.
Oh my God, that's a...
Ben, put your hand
that's
beside
a 7-pounder. That's a 7-pounder.
Nice catch.
Let's go.
First cast of a new lure in the hot spot. All right, let him go. Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Will you cut the line?
No, that was line that was in the net.
Holy crap. I see another one. Wait, no.
That's awesome. Good catch.